In the 90s, if you saw a big green glow, you knew it was over. Every shooter has a big gun, but there's only one that has a big well, you know. It's the weapon that taught us that sometimes you just need to delete everything in a room with a big giant green ball. It's the gold standard for super weapons. It's slow, it's expensive, and its mechanics are so weird that most players have been using it wrong for nearly 30 years. Today, we're looking at the BFG9000 from Doom. All sources used for this video will be linked down in the description below. Like, sub, do all the YouTube stuff. It is greatly appreciated. Let's get into it. The BFG is a monster of a machine, but it's surprisingly technical. Here are the stats. Projectile. When fired, the BFG releases a slow-moving giant green plasma ball. Unseen to the player, though, are invisible hit-scan beams. More on that later. Damage. The ball itself deals between 100 to 800 damage in round multiples of 100. To put that in perspective, an imp has 60 HP and a cyber demon has 4,000 HP. So yeah, big damage. But the magic comes from its tracers. 40 invisible tracer rays are emitted from the player in a roughly 45-degree cone shape in the direction the plasma ball was fired. Each of those tracers deals 49 to 87 damage when the ball detonates. More on that later as well. Rate of fire, 52.5 per minute. When you pull the trigger, there is a pause of 30 ticks, or roughly 0.857 seconds. After that, a bright flash comes from the muzzle, and that trademark giant green plasma ball slowly flies through the room. Range? The ball itself has a blast radius of 20 units. Interesting note, spider demons and cyber demons are immune to rocket splash damage, but that's not the case with BFG splash damage. Tracers, 1,024 units. This is the range of how far these invisible tracers drop. For reference, the player size is 32 units, as well as a typical teleporter platform, so 1,024 is quite large. In some additional stats, ammo type, the BFG uses cells. Ammo cost is 40 cells per shot. Ammo cap, you can carry up to 300 cells, but once you find a backpack in Doom, you can carry up to 600 cells. That means 7 shots in total with the 300 cap and 15 shots with the 600 cap. And the BFG is also known as the Big Fragging Gun, Big Freaking Gun, Big Fancy Gun, and Big Fucking Gun. The tech of the BFG isn't in the big green ball it fires, it's in the math. When that ball hits an object, the game doesn't just calculate splash damage. It draws 40 invisible lines in a 45-degree cone from the player's position. If a monster is caught in those lines, they take massive secondary damage, between 49 and 87 damage per ray. The minimal damage of the weapon is 49. That's if an enemy is lucky and they're only hit by a single tracer and nothing else. Hypothetically, the maximum damage is 4,280. That's assuming the plasma ball hits and the target takes all 40 tracers. But that is nearly impossible due to Doom utilizing a random number generator table to calculate this damage. Last thing about the tracers, they won't rotate with you should you do, say, a 180-degree turn after firing it. Though, the tracers will relocate with the player as they move around until the plasma ball explodes. You can fire it down a hall, strafe left or right, face down a different hall, and so long as the enemies are within your 45-degree cone, they'll take tracer damage. The BFG is the ultimate room clearer. Its role isn't just to kill the big demon in the middle, though you totally could. It's to delete every trash mob in your field of vision, so you can focus on the real threat. Id Software balanced the BFG through resource scarcity. You rarely find enough cells to use it as a primary weapon, and that nearly 1 second charging delay means if you time it wrong, a Cyber Demon rocket can explode in your face before the shot even leaves the barrel. Still, the amount of damage you can do point blank against a large demon, like a Cyber Demon or Spider Demon, can be massive. Okay, art and design. The BFG's design is purely industrial. It's a massive metallic block that looks like it was ripped off a tank. Fun fact, like many Doom weapons, the BFG was based on a toy gun, specifically a Tootsie Toy Roaring Dragon. The developers took photos of the toy, digitized them, and added those heavy metallic textures to give it that experimental UAC military vibe. Listen to this. The sound design is legendary. That low-frequency hum during the wind-up creates a moment of high tension, followed by a release that sounds like a whooshing jet. It's a sound that tells the player something very big is about to happen, which usually results in trash mobs jibbing en masse. We can't talk about the design without the name. While the manual and movies might say big frickin' gun or Bioforce gun, we all know what the BFG stands for. It's a name that perfectly matches the id Software attitude of the 90s. Blunt, aggressive, and undeniably cool. And I thought I should mention it here, the BFG has been recreated in many id Software titles, some borrowing visual designs from the original while others taking a totally different creative approach. To name a few, they brought it back in Quake 2 with visual tracers. Quake 3 Arena turned it into a fast automatic deleter, which is ridiculous. And of course it was in Doom 3 and all the modern Doom titles since 2016. The Dark Ages visualizes it as a giant ballista, which I think is perfect for the medieval style of that game. They all share similarities with the original though. They're all big fucking guns. They all shoot giant green explosive projectiles, and they sound amazing when using them. And of course, they destroy everything in the room. What makes the BFG great is the counterintuitive mechanics. Because the damage rays are calculated from the player's position at the moment of impact, you can do something called BFG spraying. You can fire the BFG at a far wall, and while the ball is traveling, you can turn or run toward a completely different group of enemies. Even though the fireball hit a wall 100 feet away, the invisible rays will still erupt from your chest in that direction you originally fired, shredding everything in front of you. Pros use this to peek corners. They fire at a wall behind them, then step out into a room just as the ball hits. To the enemies, it looks like you just walked in and they all exploded for no reason. It turns the player into the center of the explosion, not the projectile. It's one of the few weapons in history that rewards you for not looking at the explosion. It's a weapon that asks you to understand the geometry of the entire level, not just the crosshair. So, what makes the BFG9000 a great weapon? The BFG9000 isn't just a gun, it's a legend. It's the reason why, 30 years later, we still look for the big gun in every shooter that we play. Maybe that's why id Software always finds a way to add the BFG to their games, from Quake 2, Quake 3 Arena, Rage, even through all the modern Doom games. It's a masterpiece of hidden mechanics and raw power. It's a weapon that makes you feel like the most dangerous thing in hell. And in Doom, that's exactly how you should feel. What do you think of the BFG9000 from Doom? Do you prefer the classic tracer style of the BFG, or are you a bigger fan of the tendril-like style in the modern games? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments. And stay tuned, because our next weapon is going to be the ultimate shocker combo. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more great gaming content. And if you're looking for more, check out this recommended video right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.